My father used to say, "Watch this man."
He's been cited by IGN, The Quartering, Timcast, The Daily Wire, Bounding into Comics, and even Dr. Jordan B. Peterson.
Disney insider WDW Pro recently speculated on.
Time and time again, he's broken big entertainment news live on the air.
I've been following WDW Pro and his track record for years. If you want to find out what's on the horizon for theme parks, Pro is where you go.
Morty, let's check in on Rian Johnson's new trilogy.
Okay. I bypassed the compressor.
What did you do, Ray? Son of a... That's gonna leave a mark.
Now, he was okay, after 6-7 weeks. Okay? They get over it. Kids are resilient like that.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's the standard, what would George do?
I don't want you here.
So sorry, George. I didn't think it would go like this.
Blimey, you fools.
I've fallen, and I can't get up.
Weird. Stay away from liquor, kids.
I have always liked Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward.
The Force will be with you. Always.
That's how winning is done.
I am vengeance. I am the night.
That's what she said.
I am Batman.
If I won tonight, I would come home and we'd celebrate. Well, I'm coming home, we're celebrating. God bless you all.
Watch your habits, for they become your character. And watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. What we think, we become.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, in just 2 minutes, the lighting at the Magic Kingdom will dim for the performance of the Pro Show. We hope you enjoy and have a magical, truthful time. For the safety of others, please, no flash photography. And welcome to Provision 3D.
Alright everyone, put on your opera glasses. I'm going.
Keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.
To all who come to this happy place, welcome.
You know that you've been taught the golden rule, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Yes, Paul.
Autobots, roll out.
I'm bringing the party to you.
If somebody's going to try to blackmail me with advertising, blackmail me with money?
Fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
We're gonna do it!
All right, it's time to go to school, son. Come on, get your hands up, man.
Are you okay?
They'll never take our freedom! From the redwoods of California to the hills of Tennessee to the Rockies in the Sunshine State and Maine with that bright and shining sea. From coast to coast in North America, it's time for your host with the most, bringing you all the entertainment news that should be fun. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the WDW Pro Show!
Hello, folks, and welcome. Howdy, hello. It is a big, big night, and Disney, well, they're not doing too all right because they have made the terrible mistake of launching their, I guess, what they're looking for to turn the page for Marvel, Daredevil Born Again, premiering it opposite of the joint session of Congress speech. We would typically call this the State of the Union, but because President Trump has only been in office for 6 weeks, it's not technically a State of the Union, but it is a joint session of Congress that he's speaking at, and for all intents and purposes, you might as well call it the State of the Union. Now, constitutionally, technically, academically, it's not. But everything other than the name is a State of the Union. Well, Disney has decided, folks, to premiere Daredevil Born Again against that. And they've decided to do it, Vash, at a time when they need people to forget about the, Unbrave New World, which is a brave low at the box office. Vash, they desperately needed to find ratings. And instead, I don't think they're going to find ratings at all. Folks, I know some of you out there are still watching. And in fact, I have just switched TVs. Vash, let the folks out there know a little bit of what your thoughts are on Marvel and how badly they need this. And I'm going to get I've actually got the TV inside the studio off right now. I'm going to get that switched on so that I can have the State of the Union folks playing in the background. We've got lots to cover, including some of the things that have happened in the State of the Union that have an impact on entertainment. So get ready. Vash, share with us your thoughts on Marvel, and then we'll bring on some of our panelists. But I'm going to get this TV ready to go in the studio, actually.
Oh, I ain't worried about it, bro. I've got the floor here. Yeah, I think, Marvel's in a really big predicament, right? Because they haven't, in terms of relevancy, they've dropped off a cliff ever since Endgame. And it's been well reported in the media circles and the trades and so forth that this is definitely a phenomenon. Even if you did like some of the content that was released post Endgame, has really been up and down. In fact, I was reading a review, I believe by Discussing Film, talking about Captain America: Brave New World and reviewing that film upon its release, and even they had to admit that, look, it's been an up and down kind of pattern where you do have some things that come out that do pretty all right, but then the next film subsequently thereafter is usually not good, and that's apparently happened here with Captain America: Brave New World as compared to something like Deadpool and Wolverine. Deadpool and Wolverine obviously was very well received, made a lot of impact on social media and so forth and all those circles, but then as soon as Captain America: Brave New World comes out, it hits with a big fat dud. I believe it had a 68% drop from its first weekend to its second weekend. Not surprising there. One of the biggest drops from Friday to Friday that we've ever seen. And the major drop there is pretty big for a number of reasons, because it started out so low to begin with. It was sub $200 million worldwide, which I think Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania made $225 million back when it was released back in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. So the fact that it didn't even start out as high and maybe even fell lower than that is very concerning.
That's right. Great recap of that, Vash. And so, yes, Disney needs a win. Well, they have launched. And by the way, we were not sure about the runtime on these episodes. They're insane. We were planning to do a review of the first two. There's no way. No. This is, I think, in runtime combined 3 hours, and they've put the programming against the President of the United States giving a historic speech. I want to show folks why this is so dumb for Disney, and then we're going to get our first panelist on. Folks, take a look at this, okay? I know some of you, actually, we're going to this one. Switch over to this one. Okay. I know some of you really don't like politics, and I understand that.
Right.
And you don't want politics, and I understand that. But you've got to see what is on TV that is going up against Disney, like bulldozing Disney right now. This is what Disney decided to go up against. Take a look, folks. Fireworks right off the bat in this speech. Here we go.
And 1 counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
Now, what is this? We're going to get into it, folks. But if you've not been watching the joint session speech, the Democrats, and again, we're not going to tell you how to vote. We're not going to tell you what your politics should be. But the Democrats have been as interruptive as we have ever seen. I recall back in the Obama administration, I believe it was the first State of the Union that President Obama ever gave. There was a senator or a representative, Republican, who stood up and yelled, "You lie," and that was considered a huge breach of decorum. And just to play it again, it's going to get worse. We actually, and this is, again, folks, we're not getting into the politics of it. We're getting to the fact that this is what Disney's up against. This turned into WrestleMania. We'll talk about it soon, but just know that as we get ready to go, for the very first time I have ever seen, and we'll have to check the historical record to see if it ever happened, they actually had to call in the sergeant of arms because of the uproar of politicians. And I think it's a terrible misplay by the left, but it is a tremendous pickup for ratings because this became a grudge match. We'll watch the precedent one more time. This does not capture when the sergeant of arms captured one of the politicians and removed them from the chamber. But
And 1 counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. On a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
All right, we'll get to it. But first, Vash, we've got panelists. Let's bring them on.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and bring those panelists on because they are what you all come here for. Not just to listen to us, but you want to listen to our collective opinions. Let's go ahead and bring on some of that collective on. We have the amazing, the one, the only, the Thunder from Down Under, Nolan Thunder.
Hi, everyone.
Sir?
How's it going?
Welcome aboard, Nolan. Happy to have you.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. And, well, we'd be remiss if we didn't bring on our resident, amazing comic book expert. You know him. You love him. He's the big man on campus. Let's go ahead and give him a round of applause for Kevin Apollo. Kevin!
Going on,
what is
gents?
going on, good sir?
How we doing, guys?
Doing wonderful, having a great day. It's a dandy of a day. We're getting underway, and we've got one more person to bring on board. Vash, check who's at the door.
Oh, I see. Yes. Well, he is the investigative journalist, reporting there.
I believe the term you're looking for is editor Vash.
Okay, all right, fine. Our amazing editor-in-chief over there at That Park Place. You know him, you love him. He's the Orange Man. Well,
not that Orange Man, though. Not that Orange Man.
Orange Puppet. My bad.
Orange Puppet, good. And by the way, it is tribal editor-in-chief.
Tribal editor-in-chief.
Okay.
Acknowledge
Thank you so much, Marvin, for coming.
We are going to dive into our first topic, and it's going to be a little bit weird tonight. No, I didn't say it. Surely I didn't make the mistake. Guys, did I say the W word?
Weird.
I did. All right, listen, it's going to be a little strange tonight because the mission that was given to our panelists was that we had to watch Daredevil Born Again so that we can review it tonight. Well, there's a funny thing about that. Does anybody in here know exactly how long these episodes are? Does anybody know?
Too long.
Just found out.
I know because Nolan was kind enough to tell us that.
Nolan, how long are these 2 episodes, please, sir?
The first episode was put as an hour on Disney Plus, and the second episode was put into 50 minutes. Why they couldn't break this into like 4 episodes boggles my mind.
So, well, because Nolan, and this is what we're going to be talking about. they're trying to get this thing on Nielsen. So this is a 2-hour feature-length premiere. And you're right, they could have broken these up. But this is 2 hours of content they've released on the premiere to try to get this tracking somehow, some way. And these dummies have put it up against this speech by President Trump. Now, hang on a second. Hang on. We may have... Did he just... Folks, I'm looking to my left in the studio.
Yeah, he's holding something up here.
He has just signed an executive order during the speech. This is why Disney can't compete. Why did they do this? It's a horrible tactical mistake on the part of Disney. A horrible tactical mistake.
I want to bring up this fact here, Pro, because we talk about ratings, we talk about all that. I'm looking at the top 20 trending on X right now, and 18 of the 20 are all politics related.
Yes. And by the way, folks, if you're looking, you're saying a pro show with only 220 people on YouTube and about 500 people combined with X. What's going on? Well, the Trump joint presidential address is what's going on. And so we assume then that as the night goes on, we'll pick up more people as the speech ends, but everybody is tuning into this. This is picking up. This might have bigger viewership than the Oscars. So why did Disney decide that this is when they wanted to launch what is supposed to wash away that taste in your mouth about Brave New World? Well, who in the world knows why in the world they chose this, but they did. So, all right, well, we're going to get into all of it.
Put the president's address on the Google homepage too. Like, it's everywhere right now. It's foolish for them to even try this.
That's right.
So, I think I know what he just signed. I think he signed the Lincoln Riley Act. I'm not mistaken.
I see.
Lincoln Riley's family are in the crowd. That's what that was all about.
Well, here's the other thing too that people are. This is why the ratings are going to be huge for this, and it's why, to relate it back to Disney, why Disney should have moved Daredevil to tomorrow. Like, just move it to tomorrow. There's no loss. Like, just do it. So the other reason that the ratings are going to be huge is because even the people on the left, they're trying to tune in to see, is there an announcement? Is there an announcement with the Ukraine situation? So absolutely. All right. Well, before we get into all that, Vash, if you could be so kind, let's get the super chats up on the screen, and then we'll get started with obscenely accurate coverage, the likes of which even the politicos only wish they could do.
Indeed. Packing Protons to $5 for Pro. Doc Brown mode. Quote, my God, do you know what this means? It means Wilton really is awesome.
That's not bad. That's
You know what this means?
Jonas.
It means
1.21 gigawatts! 1.21 gigawatts!
There you go.
I love Doc Brown. He's so good. Snarky Distinct Nugget. Here's 5 nuggets, hoping this it doesn't stink. There you go.
Snarky only increases in power with every super chat.
Indeed. Look at that. WDW Pro. Yeah, that's a amazing man.
He's a swell fellow, that guy, I tell you. I hear he's a chicken, a giant chicken.
Hey, who you calling a chicken?
Chicken Boo.
Indeed. And then Ian Kumia gave away 1 WDW Pro membership as well.
Give it away now.
Oh, I like that.
Thank you.
Good.
Yeah.
And Culture Casino comes on in with the $5. Democrats are disrespectful. Al Green got run out. Do you need that video, Pro? Because I have it.
I've got the video, and I've got more. And this is, by the way, one of the reasons we're covering is because, this is they're creating spectacle, right? And the goal is to throw Trump off. I think this is playing very poorly, but ratings-wise, it's insanity, and it's destroying Disney's debut of Daredevil, just destroying it. The speech, by the way, we are at 10:20 p.m. Eastern time. It's been going on now for about an hour and 10 minutes because it was delayed. The longer it goes on, the less people are going to watch Daredevil tonight, flat out. By the way, Vash, we've got somebody waiting, and Culture, you have an invite, sir. You don't have to ring the doorbell. You don't have to send a super chat. Get on the screen with us. Come on. We've got a link to you. Stay short or stay long, whichever you want to do, but come on.
Well, we have somebody to honor, but let's go ahead and get our panelist on in here so he can celebrate with us. Let's go ahead, have him on. It is the one, the only, the truly amazing Ron for the Follow the Bradley's Fun. Ron! Hello there.
I'm still awake.
I can't believe that you are.
Who needs sleep, Ron? Who needs sleep?
Who needs sleep? No, I just finished just episode 1 of Daredevil. I wanted to jump in here, and I've got the ad-supported version because I'm not paying the full price for Disney Plus.
Well, what we're going to do tonight, Ron, what we're going to do is we're just going to review the first episode. There's no way that our panelists can watch 2 hours when it released at 9 and get in here and review. I mean, it's going to be 50. It's going to be 40 more minutes before poor Lorne. If Lorne is sitting there trying to get through this in the ad support, I feel so sorry for him. We should probably tell him. All right, Vash, keep those super chats and gifted memberships flowing. Let's go.
Absolutely. Tender Warrior with 68 with the gifting of 10 WDW Pro memberships. Whoa!
You know what, Tender Warrior? It has been too long since we've seen your name in the chat, and I know that you've been out there, but and you don't have to gift things for us to notice. It's good to see you out there, sir. Happy to have you. That's right. Tender indeed.
That's a good one. I like that. Regina Sharp with the $5. Ha! Chicken boo joke that's worth a $5.
It's a $5.
There you go.
Right.
I'm glad somebody got what I was doing.
That's right.
You wear a disguise, you look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a chicken pro.
Oh, well, at least I got in the song.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
All right. Well, let's be moving along, guys, because we've got content to cover. The news never stops, and neither do we. Before we dive in, though, folks, remember, thatparkplace.com has launched member-exclusive content. You'll be a VIP over there for $5 a month. Get over there and join so that you can get access to all kinds of fun stuff on the red carpet, and we'll bring you even more of the news you adore, the entertainment you need, explaining the Holly Weirds in a way that they don't even yet understand. And, well, it turns out, folks, before we get started, we've got someone at the door.
Who could that be?
Lorne.
Forgive me, I'm still trying to get logged into stuff, so give me a minute.
No worries, Lorne, no worries, but you are live, so don't do anything. Don't pick your nose, sir. Don't pick your nose.
At least he's wearing his hat again.
I'd only pick my friend's nose. That's how this works, right?
Exactly. All right, well, folks, let's get to it. The Walt Disney Company decided that it was a wise thing to do to release Daredevil Born Again on the same exact night that President Donald J. L. Trumpo did his fifth speech to a joint session of Congress, the first of his second term. Now, it would be bad enough if Disney had went up against this and it was dull and it was boring. But dull and boring, it was not. We were going to walk you through this. At the same time, Disney desperately needs viewership for Daredevil Born Again. Not only do they need it to track on Nielsen and break the slump they're in, but also they need people to forget about Brave New World. They need positive headlines telling you the ratings are through the roof. Because right now, people are looking at Brave New World, that's Captain America 4, and going woof when it comes to how poorly it's doing. But Disney decided to go up against this, and here's how it went. Politics aside for a moment, folks. Just see how you think this is going ratings-wise.
And one counties in our country, 2,700 to 525. But a map that reads almost completely red for Republican.
WrestleMania with it, and that is within 5 minutes of the speech starting. Whatever you think about it, whatever you might want it raucous and rowdy, but take a look at this. And I had never seen anything like this happen. This was just moments later. And remember, this is what Disney decided to go up against with their streaming show Daredevil at a time they need ratings more than ever.
Jump.
Members are directed to uphold and maintain decorum in the House and to cease any further disruptions. That's your warning.
Now, of course, all of this is spectacle and it's all coordinated. None of this is spontaneous. They all wanted to do this, but I don't think it's playing the way they want it to. But let me tell you, if you were just perusing, cruising through the cable stations, before you went over to Daredevil. Well, Daredevil's not coming on when this kind of stuff is happening. It's a hockey match in the joint session of Congress. Good Lord.
Members are engaging in willful and continuing breach of decorum, and the chair is prepared to direct the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order to the joint session.
Now, we've never, at least in my lifetime, I have never seen this happen. And yes, it did. They actually had to get the Sergeant of Arms because of how nuts things went. These usually are boring, right? These are usually just for politicos to watch and be like, oh, it's the greatest speech in the last 20 years. Never have we seen such a thing. Or get out there and say, it was the worst thing since moldy bread. I can't believe what he said. This, however, captured the attention of audiences all over America.
Take your seat. Take your seat, sir. Take your seat. Finding that members continue to engage in willful and concerted disruption of proper decorum, the chair now directs the Sergeant-at-Arms to restore order. Remove this gentleman from the chamber.
Now, did Democrats specifically and concertedly pick a man with a cane to be the one to go out on the walk of shame? Folks, that would be cynical of me to believe, right? But he was ready for interviews when he walked out into the gallery. Let's watch this real quick. Here we go.
And I was making it clear to the president.
Too quiet. We're not doing it. Sorry, C-SPAN. Your government dollars are not working for us. Get your audio fixed.
I'm honestly impressed that they were able to get the sidekick from Borat to show up.
Now, the ratings were already through the roof because people were tuning in to find out what he might say about Ukraine. And wisely, if you're wanting to hold the ratings, they didn't mention Ukraine in the beginning. You know what they did instead? They did things that nobody thought or knew was coming. In fact, some of this stuff may have been left out of the notes handed off to the news anchors and the personalities before the speech, when they give their pre-analysis. Trump just called for Congress to eliminate interest on auto loans. And guess what? Whether you like him, don't like him, whether you're Republican or Democrat, well, he has both houses. He has the House. He has the Senate. So why is it not going to work out? He announced, this is why people might have stayed beyond the raucous beginnings, the idea that they're going to cut all interest on auto loans. Let's play it.
And I also want to make interest payments on car loans tax deductible, but only if the car is made in America.
Of course, he called for no taxes on overtime, no taxes on tips. Not a political channel, folks, but we are gauging the ratings here. So, panel, I want to go to you and just ask, and we've got more on this. Was this a horrible, terrible, awful decision by Disney to not move Daredevil to either Monday or Wednesday? And as Kevin, I'm going to go to you first because I see you've got an opinion ready to come out. Kevin, I got to bring this guy on while we do it. It's Culture Casino. Culture, welcome.
Hey, sorry, I was busy watching an orange Hulk go ramshackle on the halls of Congress.
Yeah, I'm sure the ratings are going to be low on that, Culture. I'm sure. All right, Kevin, why in the world did they not just move this to Wednesday?
This is insanity. This is Orange Man's first appearance in front of Congress. There's a lot going on in the world, especially if you've been paying attention since Friday. I just, what do you lose by just moving the release date a day? The guy's gonna cover a ton of topics. It's gonna be a spectacle. If you're paying attention to the news cycle earlier today, we've seen all the the pre-written at least 7 people got the pre-written promo with the this is silly. This is really this is a bad move on Disney. For the other guys, this isn't looking good. The optics of this are all just kind of terrible all the way around. This is just, it's a bizarre night. This is just a bizarre night. I really, whoever sat down at Disney Plus and said, let's just march ahead with this anyway, needs to be, at the bare minimum, get a decent scolding.
Well, their judgment needs to be reevaluated because Nielsen's week, and Kevin, you're on the target as always. Nielsen's week starts on a Monday. So if you're trying to get the most ratings for this show, drop it on a Monday. The numbers are going to look spectacular. You release 2 episodes. That's like 1,000 years of television. I mean, like in streaming terms, you've got an hour and a half and 50 minutes or whatever. I didn't even get to watch it yet. Right. You know, the only reason I'm here is because, Pro was yelling at me because I was watching the Orange Hulk. But look,
I said, get back to work culture. How dare you? You don't even know what it's like to have leisure.
I love working. That's the other weird. Something wrong with me. But regardless, you're spot on. Somebody did not do due diligence, and they didn't understand that this show would have benefited from being released on a Monday because I would have got to watch it. And, I wouldn't have been watching the Orange Hulk, tearing up, the White House. Oh, wait, that's a different movie. But I just know that there's a whole audience out there that would have loved to have been doing something else, but they're glued to the WWE event that is the joint session of Congress. That's what's going on right now. Sorry.
Not to mention, not to get too far ahead, with the review of the show or anything, there seems to be quite a few subtle Trump undertones in this episode, the opening episode, relating to the Kingpin. And if they were trying to, whether you agree with it or not, preach any sort of moral, wouldn't you want this to be like the day before or the day after so it's timely with what you're trying to preach, as opposed to same time so your lesson is just intertwined and no one gets a chance to see it? It's dumb.
Are there actually Trump overtones though, or is it just people like to put that onto anything that deals with a wealthy, corrupt politician depiction? Like we've had President Luthor, we've had Mayor Kingpin in the comics before, so it's not a new concept. I have to see the execution, but right away I would.
Long-term, Marvin, we'll know more, but let's just say there were certain things I found not very subtle as far as some recent events going on that I think might have been added last minute, but it's up to the viewer's interpretation.
I would have to agree with Nolan, though, because they weren't subtle about it in season 3 of Daredevil, trying to make comparisons. I don't think the comparisons are very realistic when you understand the actual truth, but it does seem that they're trying to make those comparisons. Those overtones are definitely there.
Now, at the same time that may be happening with another Marvel property, let me go to what people might be tuning in to the joint session speech. Technically not a State of the Union, but in every other way beyond technicality, State of the Union. Here's what people are waiting to find out about instead of watching Daredevil. Good job, Disney. Out of Reuters, coming out just hours before the quote-unquote not State of the Union. Exclusive U.S.-Ukraine now plan to sign minerals deal, sources say. How about that? It says, and we'll just do the summary here, Trump wants to announce deal in address to Congress, sources tell Reuters. So whatever is in the speech, people were primed, prepped, and ready. And guess what? People on the left really want to know about that one as well. So Reuters and other sources were prepping this as being in there. Bissett denies any minerals deal signing planned. Zelensky ready to sign, calls meeting, the prior one in the Oval Office, regrettable, which is the apology that President Trump appears to have been wanting. Okay? So in every way possible, this thing was primed and ready to go. Why Disney wanted to face Marvel off against it, I don't know. And take a look at this. It gets even more. Because what have people been so interested in as of late? The idea that woke was destroying entertainment. And in this speech, Trump goes directly after that. Here is the highlight, taking on DEI and wokeism.
We've ended the tyranny of so-called diversity, equity, and inclusion policies all across the entire federal government and indeed the private sector and our military. And our country will be woke no longer.
I mean, I don't know how you get ratings beyond that, and I don't know why you want to put your superhero against that at a time when, like, you get one chance to launch. You get one premiere night, and they went up against this. It makes no sense whatsoever. Is Disney just so big that they think, oh, we're bigger than the president? We don't care. We're not budging. Like, what is it? Can someone explain it to me? Get in the heads of a Disney exec. Can anybody tell me what in the world they thought?
Hubris is a special thing, man. I don't think they counted on seeing something bigger than Joan Collins versus Linda Evans on steroids, but they took a gamble, and yet again, Disney has fallen flat on its face. I'm actually really eager to see what these ratings are, because this was a spectacular blunder. It's
the White House blown. The White House YouTube channel has 294,000 people watching right now.
Wait a minute, call it out again, Culture. Which source?
This is the White House's YouTube channel.
Can you share that on your screen, Culture, so we can get that up? But please, I want a visual so we can show people that.
Sure. It was bonkers, because I was like, "What's happening now?"
Culture's going to have to log out, though, of his burner account, YouTube account, that people are going to wonder about. Sexy Greenhouser is going to have to be logged out of Culture Casino.
Oh wow, it's 300,000 now. Hang on a moment.
On the White House YouTube channel. We're not talking about a cable channel. We're not talking about ABC, NBC, CBS.
Just the YouTube channel. Hang on.
All right, we'll get it up. Lauren, I understand you're having some audio issues, but Lauren, if you wouldn't mind, weigh in, please. Why do you think Disney didn't just make the call to move it to either yesterday or Wednesday? Like, what were they thinking?
Well, first of all, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
good.
because
I thought my mic had dropped. Good. I'm not really sure. I'm kind of questioning it myself. I know there's been an argument going on in our private chat in the back here about whether or not Daredevil was trying to represent Kingpin as Trump. I'm firmly in the camp that they are. But I think we can debate that when we get to that. If they were, it kind of makes me wonder, was it deliberate? Because if they can sense that the political winds are changing, and they know that this is going to be a night that's going to draw away from it, it works to their advantage in a way if fewer people see it. I don't know if they'd sacrifice it for that reason, but I don't know. I'm puzzled by all of this.
It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And it would be like, it would be like putting something out, the debut of a big show on Super Bowl night. I mean, because if you think about it, now you could say, oh, come on, Pro, the Super Bowl draws huge ratings. Don't make that comparison. Fair enough, right? I'll grant that one. But consider for a moment, who's the most likely demographic to tune into the Trump thing? The demographic that's the most likely to want to watch Daredevil beat up a bunch of baddies for Marvel. Like it's still red-blooded males.
Yeah, it is. And here's the crazy thing, Pro. I think this is even more important than the 309,000 people that are tuned into the White House YouTube channel. The ratio is way better than Snow White. So just so you know.
It gets even worse here for Marvel and for Disney, actually, because first of all, you have on Disney Plus right now, you've got the big banners in which they promote their latest film product, something that just came out. Daredevil is first, yes, but right after that is this pseudo State of the Union Trump speech right here. So people who are even on Disney Plus might be inclined to go over to that specific block of programming right there over Daredevil because, well, that's happening live right there. Maybe I can pick up Daredevil at a later date. If you do, and if you go online, you might have been spoiled there because I'm seeing, I think Daredevil is number 4 trending in the United States right now after State of the Union, Democrats, Dems, all that. If you go in there, people, what are they talking about? They're talking about the big event that happens very, very early on in the first episode. And if anybody has seen that, you know what I'm talking about. And so if you're spoiled in that way, are you inclined to even pick up the series after that? Or it's like, I just was spoiled. My enjoyment has been ruined, and so I'm not going to watch this show even later on. So this was, I think, a big miss right here in terms of this programming block. If it was a day before or a day after, I think it would have played a lot better. But because it's happening at the same time, now people don't feel as engaged into this group event as they could have otherwise been.
Well, just to give you an idea,
Oh, man.
Currently, 270,000 people are watching, not on Fox News, on the Fox News YouTube channel. So I don't know how many more people are watching on the channel versus the channel's YouTube channel, but I got to think it's a lot.
Yeah.
So we're in the millions and millions of people that are tuning in. I mean, this is going to blow away the Oscars in ratings. We'll get those numbers probably in 48 hours, maybe in 3 months if it's numbers that they don't want to release.
Well, the international numbers though, Pro, are going to be bonker sauce, especially the Canadian numbers, because they've been trying to huff and bluff and blow the house down over these tariffs. And they found out that, the House of Straw isn't a great one to live in.
Culture,
Culture,
I don't know if you know, but Canada is not the most populous country. So even if they all tune in, it might not budget very much. But yes, I'll grant you the international numbers are going to be thicker than fresh maple syrup on a cold winter day.
Anyone who tuned in to the Tooneytown Wrestling live stream of the Elimination Chamber match got to watch Kevin and I in real time rage out as the Canadian crowd booed the American national anthem, and the two of us were just screaming at the TV.
By the way, what we're watching right here with 300,000 on the Fox News YouTube channel. Who knows how many on Fox News? Who knows how many on MSNBC?
Is
the president of the United States declaring that we're going to get Greenland.
Hey, we're headed over. We're headed over to Ukraine to strip mine it. We might as well take care of England's minerals too.
Folks, we're not going to get political. I promise. We're not telling you what we think about any of this.
No.
We all have opinions. We're holding them back because we're staying in our lane, and yet we can laugh because Daredevil is going up against. I mean, what entertainment can compete with this? What Marvel movie can possibly compete with the President of the United States having to call the Sergeant of Arms to drag out politicians, then declares we're going to get Greenland, no taxes on tips. Your cars are completely deductible on taxes, and it's all going to happen.
Did you see Debbie Wasserman Schultz roll her eyes at the little boy that was fighting brain cancer?
Man.
Oh no, really?
They showed the little boy. Yep, they showed the little boy that was fighting brain cancer, and Trump pointed him out. And they showed Debbie Wasserman Schultz roll her eyes.
I'm going to tell you. Oh yeah, poor Debbie. But I'm going to tell you right now that look, some people are just ignorant, and we got to help them. But anyway, you know what I saw, Pro, and this was the great thing. We now have brand new meme templates because the Democrats were holding up signs the whole time, like little signs. I'm so excited. I'm going to have like fodder forever. Rashida Tlaib brought a little whiteboard that she held up. I'm like, bonus. Thanks for that. But I'm like, you don't know what the internet's like, kids. It's not friendly.
Right. Speaking of Canada, by the way, I just saw this quote from DeSantis today. He said only 3.3 million Canadians visited Florida per year, and they only come to get a glimpse of what a Stanley Cup winning hockey team looks like.
Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Oh yeah, because Trudeau said today, told Canadians don't go vacation in Florida, and DeSantis is like, that's not going to hurt us.
Yep. Hey,
Disney though.
Ron has sent some information in the background to us. Ron, you're saying that D-Day Cobra, our good friend Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, he was streaming or is streaming the not State of the Union with Trump and has 8,400 concurrent viewers. Folks, this is the new media. The new media has arrived, and congratulations to D-Day Cobra and all of the other, I presume, that places like PBD, Megyn Kelly, All In Podcast, Pod Save America, I can keep going. Daily Wire. I'm assuming that all of them, whether they're on the left and the right, and we're trying to play fair and call out all sides of the spectrum, they're all having a great night. And legacy media, likely not. And in the case of Disney, definitely not, because this has spoiled their Daredevil fun. Panel, last thoughts on this topic as we get ready to. Well, and we're watching there's apparently an announcement about the Abraham Accords. So good luck with that, Daredevil. Good job, Disney. Good job.
Yeah, no, that's they could have even just changed the release time to noon or something like that. They could have changed it to Monday would have been great, actually, because like they said, the Nielsen's track that, and it would have gotten bigger numbers. It would have been really, really easy when they found out what the president's schedule was a couple weeks back to say, And guess what, everybody? We're going to release Daredevil a day early. I mean, that's good for marketing, right? It's just, I don't know. They don't, I mean, nobody over at the House of Mouse thinks anymore with their brains.
Apparently.
If you go back and look at how TV used to treat the Super Bowl back in the day, right? When did, if you had a brand new show that was struggling, Friends, actually, Friends, the Super Bowl saved Friends. No one was watching it. It came on as soon as the game ended, and it turned into a mega hit. You would think that there should be someone who at least glanced over that case study. There should have been a concerted effort to make a major adjustment here. I get it. You had this date set well in advance. Boo-hoo. The real world would tell you to adjust anyway. Instead, now you're going to catch a major embarrassment, and we're going to do standard Disney. We're going to gaslight everybody, tell everything's fine, eat more crow, and then just kind of limp across the finish line. And like Vash said, if I'm someone, because I'm working very hard to not have any spoilers, chances are, no one's really riding high on the Marvel train right now. So if this gets spoiled, I have no impetus to really jump back on Disney Plus and see this. So, again, this is a bizarre bungle. It's silly.
The way they could have handled it is, and I don't know how successful it would be, but if they had moved the night to Monday for the premiere, but held back a scene or two, and then had the official premiere on the scheduled night to try and bring in people to see the special extra scene, they could have potentially doubled their viewership numbers for the week. If you had those diehard people who want to see absolutely everything.
Very well said. All right, folks, that's where we'll leave it on this topic. Disney, no good. Programming, very bad. Nielsen charting, unlikely. Daredevil, failure to launch, you bet. All right, culture, I would like it. Can we bring audio in this? Because he's making an announcement about Ukraine. Bring the audio in, please.
Ready to work under President Trump's strong leadership.
Can you hear that?
To get a peace that lasts. We do really value how much America has done to help Ukraine maintain its sovereignty and independence. Regarding the agreement on minerals and security, Ukraine is ready to sign it at any time that is convenient for you. I appreciate that he sent this letter. Just got it a little while ago.
All right, so that's breaking. Ukraine will sign the deal on the minerals.
Discussions with Russia and have received strong signals that they are ready for peace. Wouldn't that be beautiful? Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Let's see if we find out if both sides of the aisle are applauding that. Come on, be smart there, camera feed.
Come on, flip to the other side.
No, they're not.
No.
Wouldn't that be beautiful?
Oh my gosh, they're sitting there without any.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
It's time to stop this madness. It's time to halt the killing. It's time to end the senseless war. If you want to end wars, you have to talk to both sides. Nearly 4 years ago, amid rising tensions, a history teacher named Mark Fogel was detained in Russia and sentenced to 14 years in a penal colony. Rough stuff. The previous administration barely lifted a finger to help him. They knew he
All
was
right, culture,
innocent,
go
but they
ahead
had
and
no idea where to begin.
let's cut the audio. That's
Last
what
summer,
we
I
wanted.
promised his 95-year-old.
We're not, folks, I mean, some of us here, including myself, we love politics. Like we love, and I don't necessarily love the sausage making, but I love watching the back and the forth, and it's like a soap opera. It's not our thing, though, that we cover, and we know that when we tell people to stay in their lane or when we complain about celebrities, we hold ourselves to the same standards. But we did want to break in for that breaking news that Ukraine, and this will affect the ratings. I mean, there's no doubt. And the fact that they held the Ukraine announcement until the end of the speech, we assume that's on purpose. That's to hold the viewership. Now, basically an hour and 40 minutes long. This is a very long speech. They waited that long to declare that Ukraine has agreed to sign the minerals agreement. So that's a big deal. That gets them closer to peace. If you're on the left, you don't like it. If you're on the right, you do. If you're down the middle, you probably do. All right, we're going to go to the next story, though, folks. Before we do, let's get to the super chats. Vash, let's get them up on the screen, sir.
Absolutely. Let me go ahead and get them up right now. We have, starting out, Tennille89 with with $5. Anecdotal, but I'm in LA, presently walking down the streets in Brentwood. Every restaurant and bar I walk by has Trump on TV. So far, no one is booing. Ooh, that's Bob Iger's neighborhood.
Yeah, get ready. I mean, the insanity of launching your TV show. If this was, by the way, if this was a little cartoon, or let's say it was Agatha, like who cares? You could do Agatha. I know, Lauren, I know. But here's what I'm saying. You just had Brave New World. You just had a flop. You need to reset the narrative.
Right.
The way you reset the narrative is you don't launch your big new property on the same night as a historic event. It's crazy.
This is a highly anticipated show right here, and there's a lot in here that people have been looking forward to. Like Kevin was saying, and like I had said, I mean, if this show's spoiled for a lot of people who didn't actually watch it immediately when it actually came out, you know, are you going to be compelled to watch it further? I'm not sure.
Now wait a minute, we're going to have to find out. Lauren, why were you in disagreement? Why were you compelled to shake your head like Nancy Pelosi when Donald Trump takes the podium?
You know how I felt about Agatha. I don't ever want to hear that name spoken in my presence again.
The name which shall never be said again.
Down the road. Sorry, I was learning my
Shall not be named.
The Thor and Thanos situation. No, we don't say that name here.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Charger the comic #2, member for 22 months. By the way, Kingpin has been compared to Trump since the 1980s.
Yeah, he was a city boss. He was the developer, the art of the deal, the man, the myth, the legend. Do you want me to show you his book?
By the way, is it the art of the steel?
Deal.
Oh, deal. Okay.
Yeah, no, that was 20. You're talking about 2020.
Oh,
and he signed off. Look at the mic drop. I had the Trump board game.
That's right.
The what?
Yeah, there's a Trump board game from the 80s. I had it.
Yeah, and the board is so huge. Never seen anything like it. There's nothing like it they've ever seen.
Big beautiful People like to say I'm like the new Monopoly guy. I say the Monopoly guy is the old Donald Trump.
I'm like the Monopoly guy. All right, bad Trump impressions. Moving on.
Okay. Oh, there you go.
My Trump impression's good.
Dang, is that a hard copy?
Oh, he's muted, folks.
But muted.
We'll ad lib for him. We'll pretend like you could understand. He was letting you know that it was signed with a golden Sharpie.
Don't tell anybody. But no, that's like I have all the books. I'm a messed up guy. But look, I mean, you know, he was inspiring, and you know what? Then he went on and he created an amazing television show, live television show that it's at its absolute best. What they call it, reality TV. He was the master of reality, and everybody wanted to be on The Apprentice, and I may have tried to be on The Apprentice. You don't know that.
Guys, it's 10:53 p.m. Eastern. He's 78 years old. It is now 1 hour and 43 minutes into the speech. It's practically a Joe Rogan monologue at this point. It's like Joe Rogan, but with one person in the joint session of Congress. It's amazing. It's a long format session.
Well,
I love this guy. Culture Casino. Culture. I'm a man of culture. They like to say that casinos. Who knows casinos more than me? It's just
that's right.
Moving on. Okay. Tennille89 with the $5. Is this really a question? Disney's hubristic to the point of delusion. They did it dumb and thought they could command more eyeballs than the president. More than me. Couldn't believe it. Amazing. Could just not gonna happen.
Tennille, you win at Scrabble with hubristic. I don't even know if it's missing a syllable or not, but whether or not it needed another vowel, you win, sir. By the way, folks, we are at 2 out of 10 on the goal. We just need 10. Help us get to 10, please. Super chats, and we will unleash. We're going to give your money back, we promise. We're going to unleash gifted memberships from the channel to you all, and we can't wait to do it.
Disney didn't hold the cards, bro. Didn't hold the cards.
That's
Going
right.
up against me. Regina Sharp with $5. Someone at Disney wants Born Again to fail. That way they can claim it wasn't their crap writing for the other shows.
Well, that's hadn't thought of that, but Disney self-sabotage is born again. Uh-oh.
Well, but this kind of dovetails a little bit, maybe, with the Tiana series news. You know, if what you're trying to do is flush out certain people, maybe that's how you do it.
Well, I would love, you know what? I'd love to agree with you on this, except that they dropped the casting announcement for a major person for season 2 of the Daredevil Born Again, because we're getting season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. So they're already invested in the show.
So what was the announcement?
They made a casting. I don't know. They said there was a new casting. Why? Do I look like a news guy to you? A YouTuber or something?
The Shaggy
Matthew Willard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Lillard.
Shaggy.
Yeah, no, and look, I'm telling you right now, that is the greatest. He's such a great actor. So he's perfectly cast. And
I am learning so many things right now. I've always heard that Culture Casino looks like Brett Baer, and now I'm finding out that he doesn't think it's true.
I don't think it's true. If I shaved my beard, I would look very cherubesque, but I don't think I'd look like Brent Baer.
You're saying you might look like a Bill Hemmer, maybe a young Cronkite,
or a Hemmickler-Slummer. I don't know. What are you talking about?
Did you make that up? Hemmickler-Slinger?
No, that's a store.
Who is Hemmickler-Slinger?
That's a store.
All right.
Maybe he's really not a newsman. He's making up retail spots.
No, I am not.
Names.
That's a real place.
I look like Gimbals.
No, I don't look like Gimbal. Maybe I look like Harrods. I don't know. Come on.
It could only be Harrods. Oh, wrong store. Go ahead, Vash.
Tom F. Wrench. Remember for 7 months. Thank you so much for wrenching for us. Daredevil was and treating the way they started was good.
Yeah.
There you go. We'll find out. By the way, we are going to do a review of the first episode. It's coming up, folks. Hang tight.
Oh yes.
Oh, well, I haven't watched. Should I go watch
Highlander 777.
Yeah,
$2.
do I have time to watch it?
No. There's no need. Don't worry. We've got a few embedded journalists who actually managed to speed watch the thing.
Okay. Well, I'm watching a lot of clapping on screen. So.
Well, the TV in the studio. I'm looking to my left right now, and they're still going, and I'm live. So.
Oh, there you go. Highlander 777 with the $2. He said, "We are going to reclaim the
We will
Panama
fight,
now."
fight for the country our citizens believe in.
I'm picking up
and for
audio
the
now.
country our people deserve.
Who's got audio?
Culture, is that you? There you go. It's Neil 89.
Oh, it is Culture.
Lord.
Culture. I was looking all over for that. I was like, man,
he's gonna fight for the country we deserve. I'm sorry. I
what's
apologize.
funny, Culture, is I was sitting here, I thought, man, you can't stop Orange Man Bad. He's even in my audio. I can't. I don't have it playing anywhere.
You tried to stream over me, bro.
I've got it on. He's hacking the system as we speak. The Pro Channel can't stop me. I'm
Maybe the
everywhere.
mainstream
That I
media
can
was
tell you.
right. He's gone too far.
Pro tried to put up a wall. I conquered it. Conquered it like a Guatemalan trying to get a job. You can't stop me.
Went right over.
That's right.
Did 89 with $2. Lauren, stop right there. No brain is allowed.
Brains.
Brain.
I shall cease.
Well,
brain.
the Democrats are shuffling for the exits, which usually means it's the end of the show. So there we go.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Master of Puppets with the $5. Here's a 5.
Well, thank you.
So with that 5, thank you, Master of Puppets. Looks like this one goes down in the record books as having a duration of about 1 hour and 50 minutes, ending at just about 11 p.m. Eastern time. And well, that means that people didn't have a lot of time to watch Daredevil.
No, that means it literally covered the exact period of time for Daredevil episode 1 and 2. Literally,
there you go.
Completely.
You know, I don't think he's going to take Iger as a running mate next time he runs for something.
No, Bob Iger.
All right, Vash, keep it rolling, baby.
Today, 89 with $2. Did it need another syllable? What's the spelling?
Syllable.
What was the word? Was it hubristic? Was that the word?
I think he nailed the spelling.
I put it. I think it's HUBURISTIC. Is that right? Can somebody check that for me?
USC.
Hubristic.
Oh, I don't know.
No, it would not have a U in between because it's hubris. So it is hubristic. He had it right.
Yeah, I told you.
Yeah. Tennille, you're the man. And by the way, Tennille, you truly are the king of 10th Super Chats.
He is, truly.
Yep. No doubt.
SMX Saber Tooth Raptor with the $5. No, we don't talk about the Agatha show in this House of Lorne. She is the one that should never be named and locked away in the Marianas Trench.
And I actually said in the chat, I think that Agatha hurt me more than the Acolyte, because by the time we got to the Acolyte, it's just pure apathy. You know, I can't summon up the courage to care for it. But
you and I were living that moment together. I was reliving that moment. So
yeah, I feel
power of one, the power of two, the power of many.
At least that's what I hear.
Wait, what?
I always spit directly back into my cup.
Yeah, me too. Very quickly, just so you know, I went from the White House coverage right back to ABC's coverage of the same event, and they were very happy to be on there. So at least their network understood what the night was about.
Hey, Culture, what's the viewership on ABC?
Oh, I dropped off of it. I'm so sorry.
Okay. See if you can grab that. I'm curious what ABC is pulling.
Okay.
All right.
Indeed. Highlander 777 with $5. Well, since $5 is the minimum to count, here you go, boys.
Thank you. Okay,
145. 145.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say that.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, you were looking.
I got excited. I was excitable. I'm like a crunchable, but I'm excitable. Crustable, I mean.
Curtis Shaw gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank you.
Curtis.
Thank you. Very kind.
You're the one who's out of this world, sweet baby. You're the one who's out of this world.
That's right.
And we have, last but certainly not least, Jason Luwaka with $4.99. I guarantee you, I'm a fan.
He's a fan. He's a real fan. Thank you, Jason. We appreciate it. 4 away, by the way. 4 away from the goal. All right, folks, let's get to the next story. And it is not Daredevil, but, well, it's right back to Disney. Here we go. Take a look at this. It is out of Pixar. This is funny. From the San Francisco Chronicle. Can anybody guess why I'm reading it from the San Francisco Chronicle? We have never featured the San Francisco Chronicle before on the show.
I just want to say there's a parade of flags going down the streets there.
That's right. That's right.
They're in San Francisco, roughly, right? Emeryville, it's just right there.
G. Allen. You know, that's a cool name. G. Allen. It just blows. G. Allen Johnson is the author here. Pixar's Win or Lose features Disney's first openly Christian character in nearly 2 decades. This is going to be fun because if you know what Win or Lose is, it is the Pixar animated short that featured a child of a certain, shall we say, socially controversial nature, and it was scrubified. Very similar to Strange World or to Lightyear, things that did not go well for Disney. And Disney decided to remove the episode and the kiddo that was, I guess, depicted in a way that might upset people. In fact, it even garnered an official statement from Disney where they said, parents want to be able to discuss these things on their own. So, yeah, here we go. Win or Lose, Pixar's first original series not based on existing intellectual property, has something not seen in the Disney universe in nearly 2 decades. A Christian character. In fact, the series about a championship youth softball tournament begins with a prayer. The first of the 8 episodes opens with Lori, a young girl struggling with self-confidence alone on the bench, her hands clasped in prayer. Folks, this is actually humorous to the point I could break out in laughter. I mean, Pixar? This is how a Pixar... What multiverse have I suddenly been shifted to? What portal opened up and dropped me here? A Pixar animated short opens with, Dear Heavenly Father, please give me strength. Lori says, I have faith, but sometimes the doubt creeps in. I just want to catch a ball or get a hit. For my team, of course.
It's the universe where Inside Out made $1 billion.
A Pixar animated short opens with Dear Heavenly Father, and it's not mocking them. It's not the Book of Mormon. It's literally Like, what is going on here? Panel, help me make sense of it.
This is the first openly Christian character in Disney in almost 20 years. The last one was 2007's A Bridge to Terabithia, which was a live action film. Before that, I'm pretty sure the best representation of Christians that Disney could cook up was Frollo from Hunchback of Notre Dame. But yeah, they have not done a lot of openly religious characters. We covered this on That Park Place earlier today, and I was shocked because this is the one where they they removed the gender politics storyline and they put in a character that was openly Christian and praying. It's just a sign that they learned a lesson from Inside Out, I think, and that they are shifting the priorities of who they market to.
Can I ask a question? Is this the Christian character they're referring to?
No, I don't believe
okay.
so.
I wasn't sure.
Well,
were you trying to determine if it was?
I think I know. Anyway, here's the deal.
Yep.
If you go back in time, there is a cartoon. We can't play it for copyright reasons. It's not made its way to public domain. It's not been Steamboat Willied yet. But there is a cartoon where Mickey actually prays at night, and it's just a normal part of the cartoon. It's not as if it's some sort of religious insert, but it's just Mickey Mouse saying his prayers before bed. God bless so and so. God bless. I think he says God bless Mickey, or God bless Minnie. God bless Pluto, et cetera, et cetera. And so he goes to bed. Well, that was voiced by Walt himself, right? So this is not something that classic Disney was afraid to handle. It was just a normal part of life. But modern Disney, this is like groundbreaking. It's headliner. And the fact that Pixar opens the show this way in prayer, I can't believe it. I mean, it's just...
I have to say, though, I don't think we're going to see any behind-the-scenes footage of any type of a Reimagine Tomorrow meeting with somebody going, I can't believe this. I wanted to start putting like 50% Christian agenda in all my films and all my content. And like, they let me. So I'm just putting Christian content everywhere in my not-so-secret Christian agenda.
That's right. Ron is referring to the leaked Reimagine Tomorrow videos that Christopher Rufo, independent journalist, managed to get out there. And it was of these crazy Disney people, these creatives who just had an agenda for children's content. Now, I have said before, I have my own beliefs, and, the Pro Channel is a broad place for people of all beliefs and backgrounds. I myself personally am a Christian. But that said, I have advocated that Disney maintain itself in sort of a central position for the broadest audience. But I don't sense that having a prayer has ever been something that's highly contentious or that will run off your audience. I think that's something that is, from the majority standpoint, widely accepted. So I don't see why this has to be something that's a one-off or something that we have to, celebrate. And it'll be 20 more years before they have something like this. I think it's wise for Disney to be more conscientious of the middle. And I think this is the middle. I'm not here to advocate that they, I don't want a Pixar film for kids to get out there and be like, here's the right denomination, or, hey, let's wage an intellectual battle between Protestants and Catholics. That'll be fun. And the Greek Orthodox say, hey, what about us? So anyway, I don't think they need to go in that kind of specificity, but in general, I think this is a good idea. Culture.
Pro, I have to take you back a long, long way back to the original animated feature from the Walt Disney Company. That's right. 1937, you had an amazing little film that was called Snow White. Do you know?
Are we allowed to talk about that?
Yeah. Weird.
Maybe not, but in that film, Snow White's depicted praying. And why? Because from the fairy tale itself and from that period of time, that was largely the religion that dominated pretty much all the fairy tales. But in that movie, Snow White is praying. The original animated feature, which is why it's even more disgusting what's happening with the new Snow White film.
So you're making, let me see if I've got this right. You're suggesting that the original Snow White was a film that is fundamentally and intrinsically connected with some degree of faith, and that The Zegler version does not appear to have any connection whatsoever to any kind of theological basis.
Oh, not in any way. She's wearing a heart that you're going to be able to buy at Claire's. So,
well,
yeah.
that's
No,
yeah.
I mean, the fake silver bologna sausage that you always wanted to buy. But she is actually praying to God to bless the dwarves who helped her.
That's very nice of her, by the way. Very kind of her.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Disney's always had, believe it or not, the reference to Middle America in all the animated films. And I think Kevin agrees with me.
It took me a while to find this on X, and I didn't think I had any chance of finding it in other places. But here it is, folks. There's the image. Now, the caption there, the caption's not real. But the rest of it, I think, is real. I think there is this is the frame from Snow White where she prays for the dwarves.
And I'm just going to say that I think I recognize that name, and I'm going to say that was spot on by that person. They nailed it. But it's a very interesting thing to think that Walt was steeped in a lot of very progressive ideas, but he always took home the heart of everything that he believed in. And he believed in faith. He believed in family. He wanted a park specifically for everybody to come together. He wanted to be able to take his girls. There must be a location, a park that everybody can take their family to and enjoy this type of an experience. And that's how you ended up with
money,
Disneyland
right?
in the first place. Yeah, well, but it wasn't even that much money back then.
Yeah,
and that's
what the joke that I'm making is that the Bob Iger is they've changed the vision to if you have money.
Well, if you have a lot of money now,
a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see. And apologies for not using that park place to cover this, but well, you'll all forgive me for just how delicious it is. Let's read a little bit further in the San Francisco article. It says, that simple prayer is the first Christian reference in a Disney film since The Bridge to Terabithia, a live-action film from 2007, which featured two kiddos, attending church together and discussing religion on their trip home, according to WDW News Today. They're big fans of us. A website dedicated to reporting news about Disney's theme parks. Disney is the parent company of Pixar, which is based in Emeryville. Thank you, San Francisco Chronicle. We had no idea. The inclusion of a Christian character stands in contrast to Pixar's decision. Oh, I'm sure it was Pixar's decision. Totally Pixar's decision on this one. To redact a divisive storyline from Win or Lose during the series production, a move revealed by The Hollywood Reporter in December. So they're taking it well. Panel, any other thoughts on this one and whether or not it's a good or bad idea?
Since we covered this in December when they removed that storyline, I loved the quote that was given, in the Hollywood Reporter article where it was, well, because we know that parents want to talk to their kids about certain things on their own in their own time. And I was like, where did this Disney come from?
Well, they've clearly been subscribing to the channel. Kevin, what do you got?
Well, I was going to point out, even if you go back to children's cartoons from the 80s and very early 90s, there was always an emphasis on the story being some kind of a morality tale. And when what worked about that content was it was, again, rooted in very simple things: family, faith, sometimes faith, forgiveness, truth, honesty, honor, all the good stuff. And it's really only been over the last 25, 30 years where you've seen that almost eradicated from entertainment, and people really want that stuff back. There's I hate to say it this way, but the mainstream left has essentially vilified prayer. And people are kind of in a space where they're like, no, it's not a bad thing. It's people like morality, generally. Religion is your first introduction to ethics and morality and consequences. Yeah. And these are things that people need. These are things that people want. And if you're trying to get back to the middle, where this is the foundation of how people structure their families, this is a smart move. Disney has a very damaged brand with families. So, if you're trying to get them back, this is a good first step. However, they also did remove any aspect of Matt Murdock's Catholic upbringing from his own show, and that being a Catholic is a driving force to the character. So I don't think we should celebrate too quickly. But again, live action is a little different.
Bro, we got breaking news.
Oh no.
What's your do I need to go with the breaking news animation?
I would.
All right, Marvin, is it real or is it parody?
Disney to cut nearly 6% of staff across ABC News and Disney Entertainment networks. Layoffs. I put the link in the private chat.
Wow.
Hang on, folks. Hang on, folks. Let's wrap up that topic though, real quick. When it comes to prayer and kids content, obviously most people don't want them to get into a specificity where it starts placing various belief systems in a hierarchy. They also probably don't want kids to be depicted praying in a way that's very immature. So kudos to Disney on at least not having the kid pray that they win the game. That's not a great way to depict it. But then again, some adults do that. Some adults, they pray that they'll get the victory over somebody else, in chess or checkers or backgammon or what have you.
I can confirm that God does not get involved in sports. If so, the Eagles and the Chiefs would have never been in the Super Bowl. Just saying.
That's right. That's
right.
right.
Well, no, there was that one season where the California Angels, won the pennant, and I heard that was some divine intervention.
I think about this too.
Early
what
90s.
happened 20 years ago? Probably the rise of China, and also that was the handout between Michael Eisner and Bob Iger for the company. So
the China angle is a really, really good point, Vash. So, folks out there, if you're looking for a mature way to approach this prayer thing, maybe the characters in our entertainment, maybe we ourselves could take 5 minutes each a day and just say, to the above, where are some ways I could be better? And I bet you that some thoughts will come to your mind on ways that you could improve. And if we aim higher, we'll all do a bit better. All right, Marvin, you have this article. However, it is behind a paywall. Now, here's the trick about this. We do not, as a policy, we do not put anything up that's behind a paywall. So we need to find a source that we can put up. You've got the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, that's interesting. It's not behind a paywall when I'm looking at it.
Are you subscribed?
No.
Okay, Marvin, share your screen, and we're going to let you read the article to us. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. Hold on one second. Let me
All right, folks. Again, this is breaking news at a very weird time. Lauren, what's your out time tonight?
You got me for about 27 more minutes.
Thank you. Next time I need it down to the seconds, please.
What?
He said 20. It's 11:18 p.m. Eastern, and he said 27 minutes. That comes out to 11:45 p.m. Eastern, right?
Well, you do the math. You're the genius here.
Well, Lauren, I was just worried. If it came out to be like 11:43 or 11:48, then I was going to be like, man, this guy has scheduling down to the minute. It's impressive. But 11:45 is better.
We're burning more time. You're losing it.
Losing the wax on the candle. Quick, Marvin.
I put it through.
Okay, hang on. We got to get the Chiron ready. All right, Chiron's ready. Chiron's on. Here you go. Marvin, show's yours, buddy. Take it over.
There we go. Disney to cut nearly 6% of staff across ABC News and Disney Entertainment networks. About 200 employees are being let go at Disney's ABC News Group and Disney Entertainment networks. People familiar with them have said the layoffs are being announced.
Marvin,
yes,
control plus sign, please, a couple times.
Oh, okay. You got it.
Command.
It's command because I use a Mac.
All right,
keep going.
Yep.
The layoffs are being announced to employees as early as Wednesday, though I guess we're finding out about it on Tuesday, and represent just under 6% of the combined staff at the two units, according to one of the people with knowledge of the cuts. These cuts are the latest of several staff reductions over the past few years at Disney, which, like many entertainment companies, is looking for ways to save on what used to be core business as it spends more on sports and entertainment content to compete in the streaming marketplace. The ABC News magazine shows 2020 and Nightline are consolidating into one unit, resulting in job cuts. The people said ABC is also eliminating the political and data-driven news site 538, which had about 15 employees.
Say that again, Marvin. That's a big one.
ABC is also eliminating the political and data-driven news site 538, which had about 15 employees.
All right, let me explain why that matters so much. That matters because 538 was the gatekeeping system that managed basically the entire polling industry. And what they did is they kept places like Rasmussen, which was the most accurate pollster in the 2024 election, kept them, basically shunned them out into the dark.
In fact, you need to send that over to Rasmussen right now so that he knows where he stands now.
Mark Mitchell's currently streaming with Richard Barris
shoot,
right now,
shoot
so-
that
He's
to
where?
him.
Where is he right
Richard
now?
Barris.
Give me the link. I'm going to send it to him right now.
Yeah, send it to him right now. He needs
Yeah,
to.
the link's in the private chat.
No, I need the link to that stream.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, thank you. I'm messaging. I'm going to send him we're going to text him right now.
This is amazing because we're doing this in real time, folks. You don't understand. We're actually sending somebody who's a friend of the of that Park Place, WDW Pro, and Valiant Renegade information while he's streaming right now from this stream. This is amazing. I love the times we live in. It's
So it also says that all 3 hours of Good Morning America branded shows are going to be consolidated under one person. Previously, the third hour had an entirely separate production team. So wow, that sounds like a huge waste of money. At the Entertainment Networks unit, which houses broadcast networks and cable channels such as Freeform and FX, there'll be staffing reductions in program planning and scheduling. This is huge.
This is enormous.
Damn.
Right at the heels of admitting that Disney Plus was a failure. Wow.
Is anybody a subscriber over here? They've got the People's Pundit has a 5-minute subscriber rule. I can't even sit. Wait. I'm going to super chat him. Hang on. I'll get by it.
I don't see anything in that article where it says they're going to completely cut the view, which would be great.
No, they don't say that yet, but you have to understand they just did a restructure in October of 2024. So this is like not a lot of space. But that's like what 5-6 months later, they're like, nah, you guys suck. We're gonna do this again. That's not good.
Here you go, folks. We've just sent it over there. You can see that. You know what? I'm going to subscribe. I am subscribed. All right. I'd love to see what Mark says right now. But if we play it, it's going to garble all the audio and all that. So we can't.
Listening in the background here.
All right. We'll wait and see if they put it up on the screen. But anyway, there you go. All right. Keep reading it, Marvin, and we'll see if
that was the
on the screen.
That was the whole thing.
That's it. 538 is closed. ABC News and MS. Well, ABC News is trying to do an MSNBC impression right now.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Dude. Oh, come on, Mark, come on. Turn on at least. Put on this the caption.
Put it on the screen so we can celebrate, you crazy nuts over there. Come on.
Yeah. Put on the captions, Pro. Put on the.
Well, let me tell you, they're all excited. Oh, you want captions? Hang on.
Yeah, then we can.
They're all excited. They've got them unavailable. Oh, come on. Come on. They would at least put it up on the screen. Okay, so they're doing, I'm sure that they had scheduled over the People's Pundit. They're doing the post joint session of speech, analysis, right?
Yep.
Uh-oh, Mark's smiling. What's he smiling about? Does he know yet? Folks, does
he know?
Does the man behind Rasmussen realize that his arch nemesis has been completely eliminated from the internet? Come on,
Dude,
Mark.
They were so great over there. Oh man. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Get so excited.
Hey, bass player Iffy, what are you doing on the People's Pundit over there? Look at this.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Bass player, you better be in the chat right now. You have jumped ship. You oh man. Well, Deep Sea 190 300 for $5. Mark and Rich, you two come. Oh, those are their super chats. We won't read those. No, we won't read those. Okay, well, we've let Mark know. We've let him know. All right. Well, let me see if Mark's sent me a response back. Mark, okay, folks, we have an answer. I can't put it up on the screen because I never show DMs or text messages. But Mark says in all caps, "It's awesome!" Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! Exclamation mark! The number one! Exclamation mark! Oh boy!
Good.
Oh boy!
So good.
All right, so Marvin, recap it one more time. It's down what 7%? And let me say this: we're having some fun.
Oh, yeah.
We never celebrate the loss of people's jobs. Okay.
No.
So that's I don't want to be misconstrued. We're laughing because of the irony, and because at the same time that Trump just gave this speech During the speech, apparently, this breaks on the Wall Street Journal that ABC News, as they're covering it, is cutting these jobs. It's really something to watch. The legacy media is just going down. Marvin, what are the exact numbers again? Can you read those off to us?
So it's about 6% of the total workforce for ABC News and Disney Entertainment. About 200 employees being let go. So that means that ABC News Magazine shows 2020 and Nightline are consolidating into one, 538 being closed down, and all 3 hours of Good Morning America branded shows consolidated under one person. There used to be separate production teams, and then at the Entertainment Networks unit, there are going to be staffing reductions in program planning and scheduling.
There you go. All right. Well, welcome to MSNBC over on ABC. All right, folks, we're going to go to the next story. We're going to try and maximize the time we have with Lauren before we go to Super Chats. We're going to get your Super Chats, we promise. But I want to get his thoughts on this. Lauren, did you watch Daredevil, the first episode?
Yeah, I did. It may not mean as much to me as others because I didn't see the original Netflix series, so I'm not sure how much that ties in. But I did get to see it before I joined the stream.
All right, let's do this, folks. Right now, for those of you who on the panel who had the chance to watch Daredevil Reborn, it's a very odd situation because Disney released 2 episodes that are approximately 2 hours in total runtime. That's a featured-length film on the same night that the President of the United States is giving a historic speech. So they didn't attempt to move it, and that means very few people will have seen this, and it probably means that it will significantly stall in terms of its launch. However, we do have individuals here on the panel who have watched Daredevil Reborn or Born Again or whatever this Daredevil is. Daredevil season, we're back again. Guys who watched the first episode, give me your thoughts. And specifically, I'm curious about what you think in terms of the comparisons that are going to be made about President Trump and whether or not he is being represented yet again in another Marvel series. Lauren, we'll start with you.
I think he definitely was, and it turned me off of the show, which I feel bad about because I was kind of excited about this, especially because of the trailers. Like I said, I did not get to see all of the original Netflix Daredevil show. I got to see part of the first season, and that was many years ago now, and so I don't really recall very much about it, but I was excited to get to see these performers again, and it started strong. The opening of the episode had a hook that kind of surprised me and had me invested. But once you got about to the midpoint, it lost me pretty hard. I'm not sure I even want to watch the second episode.
All right, Nolan, did you have the same kind of experience?
Yes, also as someone who didn't see the Netflix show. Now, I am not one to get turned off by media just because it gets political. I remember I went to bat at the start of Arcane saying that I did not feel the show was woke. But this show, and with Lauren, I thought it started out extremely strong. I thought they had a lot of creativity with the one continuous shot of all the drama and everything that brings Daredevil in this point in his life. But once things started getting into the Trump comparison, it was just so blatant. And I love a good commentary on political corruption. I think Revenge of the Sith is a masterpiece for that reason, because they show political, but they didn't make it blatant of like the past experiences left me scar. You know, it's an over-the-top Star Wars way of showing political corruption as opposed to let's go one for one what has been going on in our world right now. And I don't want to go too much into details for the sake of, politics and possible spoilers for our audience. But I will say, watching it, this is one of the first times I've ever watched something that has brought comparison to our current president to where it was literally putting me in a bad mood watching it, because I go from seeing that to, in another tab, I see all the drama going on X, and it just, that escape that a lot of people long for. You can have real world stuff because that is part of what makes things, timeless. It brings good morals. It brings more relevance into your life, what you can learn from entertainment. But this, I thought it came off as preachy, and I hope it rebounds later, but it just kind of left me feeling it was okay, but it put me in some moods, and I didn't like it.
There's another thing I want to say, which is that it's not just the comparison between the Kingpin and the Trump and Trump, which I think, as others have said in the chat, that's been there in the comics for a while. It's also that this is so obviously a certain political ideology's fantasy of what they believe the current time is. And when you're putting those thoughts and opinions in the protagonist's head, that really does tell you what you think of your potential audience. And that's why it's such a huge turnoff for me. If it was just the Kingpin, I don't know that that would have bothered me enough to want to stay away from it. It was everything taken as a whole, though, that was just it's a fantasy for these writers, and it's not a particularly good or healthy one.
So legend has it that this is how Captain America Brave New World was originally scripted and written and all of that. And then the reshoots happened. And this sounds to me like it's the same kind of thing, just minus the reshoots. So that's going to be a significant problem for Marvel, and so not good all around. However, Marvin, did you have a different opinion on this by any chance?
So I haven't seen it yet. I came right from Toonie Talk Wrestling right over to here. So I mean, I'll have a look-see, and I'll get back with my opinions later on. But I mean, I am not as, I guess, sensitive to that stuff. I feel that a lot of people project those things, and I'm not saying you guys are. But I'll take a look and see if I agree with your assertion. Because
all right,
I mean, I didn't think Daredevil season 3 leaned too heavily into this stuff either. So, I mean, other than somebody saying fake news one time, I literally just rewatched it this week. So,
All right. Other panelists with other opinions on this, please share them how you thought this was portrayed.
I thought this was a good start, generally speaking. My bigger issue with this is that I don't know if anybody else noticed this, but it looked like to me that they were leaning into some CGI heavy shots in the fights, and it threw me off because I don't think there was any CGI in the fights in the original Daredevil series, and it just made me remember the Ben Affleck movie. And it wasn't that, like, that part of it. I was like, that's not this Daredevil. This Daredevil is supposed to be far more grounded. Now they did have a lot of that fighting in it as well. But this is in the opening scenes. Like it started off in a very, very good place for all of the characters, and then it quickly devolved into this fight scene. Of course, that's what it has to do. But that's where, like, I was like, I hope I don't see a lot of that. I hope I don't see a lot of this weird kind of clunky CGI, because it wasn't even good. Like there were some parts where you're like, that almost looked like bad AI. It didn't move the right way. Like when you see a 6-fingered person in a shot. I had some issues with that. Other than that, some of the other fighting was pretty good. As far as the drama between Kingpin and Daredevil and their characters, I thought that was very, very good. It's what, as far as the comparisons between Kingpin and Trump, I think you're going to see those regardless, because Trump is actually from New York. He is a businessman who did become a politician. So it's almost hard to not see those comparisons. It's just looking at those comparisons and the way they're trying to paint them in this. That they're going from a certain perspective, and you can either dismiss it completely, take it with a grain of salt. It can, like Lauren, it can turn you off completely. I can totally understand that too, because it's one of those things for me. It's like, yes, it does turn me off, but I'm going to get past it only because I understand where those comparisons are coming from. These are just the people that write this stuff are a little bit deluded.
Let me give two things to look for when you watch it, Marvin, so that you can understand why I'm drawing the comparison that I am.
Sure.
The first is watch the reaction when the Kingpin gets elected as mayor of Matt to the crowds around him. That's a minor thing, but it gets into the mindset of the people that I'm talking about. The bigger comparison is actually how they frame the relationship of the Kingpin to his wife, and how that would relate to how a certain political persuasion would be framing the relationship between Trump and Melania.
I'm interested to see that, because the Wilson and Vanessa combination was, I mean, that started in the first season of the first, started in the first episode of the first season of Daredevil. So I'll be interested to see if that is something we can make the connection to.
Now, there's also the issue that there is a shooting in this. Guys, is that handled in an appropriate way, or is this something they should have removed perhaps from the show?
Are you talking about? Well, I mean, the shooting happened in the Echo series that they discuss it here. Where I noticed the reference in particular that framed it in the way that it brings it to our modern society.
Real world. Right.
Real world is the debate. There was a scene, and it almost looked like that scene was added in later in like a reshoot, because it clearly, I think it was on a television in the background. You could see the debate, and it was like there was like an argument going back and forth between the opponent of Fisk, and then Fisk saying, "Well, you didn't experience it, but I really have," kind of.
Right.
And so
maybe a little too close.
A
little too close to reality. Maybe leave that out. Kevin, what do they have to do to get a Daredevil show right on Disney Plus? And what would it take at this point to get us excited again about Marvel? Because that's the job at hand, right? We've got Thunderdolts, we've got Fantastic Four, and then we're off to the Avengers. So what is it going to take to get people excited? What should this do rather than what it is doing?
I mean, for me personally, and I've said this before, I would fire Kevin Feige. And I'd probably bring Ike back.
Kevin, I'm glad you came in with a toothpick and really chiseled away. No, Kevin goes for the sledgehammer. Get rid of Feige.
I've got the damage control crew here. I want to knock the whole thing down and turn it to rubble. It starts with one. You have to win your actual comic book fans back. So let's get grounded back in the stories told in the books. The books are written in a way that it's universal. You can pick it up and jump in, whether you're 50 or 5. Those classic Marvel stories were written so that anybody could jump in. So you don't have to worry about over-explaining. Just get this content fun. Get the wackadoo, crazy politics out of it. No one wants it, and frankly, no one has wanted it for a very long time. It's the second the Dark Knight made $1 billion, and then Iron Man did extremely well. I knew the writing was on the wall. They were coming for our stuff, and they weren't going to let it go because they saw a brand new avenue to go put money in their pockets. People have been sick of this since before 2012. There was an out revolt in 2016. It got really nasty in 2020. Now we're all done with it. We just want to go back to enjoying things again. So if I'm Disney, that's the first priority. Make this stuff fun. Get it tied back to the books. Tell everybody else to shut up and make sure that you're having a good time. And get rid of Kevin Feige.
That's right. Culture, let me go to you for the final word. When it comes to Daredevil and all this other stuff for Marvel, they got to find something that can be at least exciting from a content standpoint. What do they have? What is in their portfolio that they could access quickly that would generally bring back Marvel fans?
Well, I think they're on the right track. This is weird for me to say, especially since I haven't seen the show yet. But if you think about the street level characters, those are the most granularly familiar to people. They feel them. It's like reaching back in your childhood and going, I know this character. I understand this character. There's not any real power here other than these things, and they're formidable in an entirely other way. So going down into Hell's Kitchen in this particular instance is perfect. It's one of the reasons why the Netflix shows worked. The idea that you can go back and do that same thing. Disney actually listened here. This is the first time that we're seeing them roll things back. They had 4 episodes shot of this, and then they stopped because they were not on the right track. They knew they weren't on the right track, and they had a real sense of, we can do this the right way and go back to the Netflix scheme of making this happen. So I think they found it. You're going to have to get back to the base level characters and characters that are fun. or characters that are understandable or relatable. And that's the thing that they've always said. Well, we want to be relatable. And then they give us Ms. Marvel. Well, that's very relatable, especially to the majority of comic fans. So when you look at what they're doing with Daredevil and they're bringing it back down to the street level in Hell's Kitchen, that's a win. It's a win for all of us. And look, you go back to the same characters. None of these people that are in there now, Froggy and oh gosh, I forget the redheads.
Karen Page.
Karen, that's right. Thank you. Yeah, you go back to those characters. They were beloved. They cast them perfectly. They had great performances on the Netflix thing. And then bringing them back, pretty smart. So when you look at it in an overall perspective, this is something everybody can appreciate. And everybody understands Matt Murdock's, right? When it's very American. That character is probably one of the most American characters that Marvel ever put together, because despite adversity, overcome. Next adversity, overcome. Next adversity, overcome. It's a constant battle for him, and it's not just because of his blindness. So this is, if instinctually, if you were trying to right the ship, it would be with Matt Murdock. It would be with the Punisher. It would be with, the Luke, bring Cage back. That was
Jessica
one of the
Jones.
greatest shows created, right? Jessica Jones was really good the first season. The second, but anyway,
I want to put you down, Culture. I'm writing down in my notes right now. Culture is not advocating for an Eternals miniseries on Disney Plus.
Yes, I am, and I'll tell you why.
Okay,
I'll
tell me why.
That's perfect. That will display everything that Disney has done wrong in both film and television product ever.
Culture.
And then
we've had 5 years of that. Really, do we need more? Really, do we need more?
I think one last dose of a whole bunch of people trying to be depressed while being superheroes is exactly what everybody
It's
needs.
like 5 years of serving Alpo to foodies, and Culture's like, no, they need a dose of the fancy feast. Let's hit them up.
That's right.
I think their headspace was right when it came to this Daredevil series. I will say I only saw 30 minutes of the first episode before here, so I haven't absorbed all of it. But and I'm very familiar with the second season. Very familiar with Jessica Jones. What is it? Iron Fist, Luke Cage, all of those. Punisher, of course. And you can see that they're trying to do a facsimile of that. I don't know if they stick the landing though. That's the thing with the CGI nature of it. But I know they're trying, and I will applaud their efforts for that.
I've seen nothing, and the fact they pulled the tiger in, I don't know. Right? Once I see it, I'll be in a better position to evaluate it. But their instincts are right to bring this back to the street level, to bring it back to the relatable. I mean, like ladies are going to be able to identify with Karen. Right. And if they bring in, and again, Jessica could be introduced into this. I don't know. There's a lot of surprise castings and cameos apparently in this. So, you might see something that you're going to go, wait a minute, are they really going to do that? And that would be the point at which maybe they could hook me again, at least with a television product, because everything else television they failed at. And believe me, Lorne's not, well, I mean, he's right here, but he's pretending not to be. But Lorne knows they haven't been able to nail the landing on anything TV, whether it be Marvel or Star Wars. And I know it sounds like I'm rooting for this, because I am, but I want something good. It would be a lovely change. I would welcome it. And everybody else would too.
Speaking of something good, dear Disney, call us. I'll get you hooked up with some people who can make a young Nightcrawler series. We'll do it. Kevin, you are coming in with the final word. I see you now.
Wait, listen, this is extremely important for Disney. If my count is right, we've had 20 releases since Endgame. 20 releases since Endgame, and if we're going to be generous, because I'll give them a slight one with Shang-Chi, they've only had 6 positive outcomes. And they had to rely on one goes to Sony, and really one goes to the Ghost of Fox.
Yeah.
So they are not, they're not in the winner's circle right now. So if they putz this up, coming off of a brand new turd and everything else that's coming down the pike, I'd say it's a wrap. Just pack it up, go home. You're cooked, as the kids say.
You heard it from Kevin. Don't putz the turd, or else you're wrapping it up. Oh no, Vash! It's been so long since Super Chats. Here we go.
Absolutely. Oh, is Lauren still with us?
He is. I hope so. I love the guy.
He's with us in spirit.
I hope
He's
so. I hope
BRBing.
so. All right. Regina Sharp with the $5. I slipped and dropped a 5 spot. Did y'all see it? Ah, well, there you go.
We got it. We appreciate it. Thank you, Regina.
Absolutely. Kit Kat with $4.99 to help you meet the goal.
Goal achieved. 15 beautiful WDW Pro memberships were given away because of the goal. Thank you, Kit Kat.
Absolutely. Snarky Distinct Nugget with the $4.99 epic presidential address.
I saw half of it. It kept on going and going. And we broke in to cover the Ukraine side. Folks, if you were not here at the time, we even came in to tell you the breaking news that ABC News is being gutted from the inside out by Disney. Holy cow, we'll cover more of it. Hey, before we go any further, Lauren, you had to go at 11:45. It's 11:46 p.m. Eastern, sir. Do you need the outro right now?
Yep, I needed to jet. I'm sorry I had to drop there for the last few minutes, but I had a great time talking to y'all. I hope you all have a great rest of your evening.
Lauren, an honor every time. Take care and hope to see you very soon on the channel, sir.
Love you, man.
Thank you, Lauren. Love you.
All right, keep them rolling, Vash.
Absolutely. Sterling Jones with the $5. Let this be number 10. WW. Yeah.
The cats agree. It's number 10 indeed.
Indeed. Cyrano 2960 with the $5. I'm for the goal and a Cuban sandwich. Oh, I see.
We're giving away Cuban sandwiches now. Wait a minute. I got to check these membership perks. I want a sandwich.
And now I'm hungry. You had to say a Cubano. What is going on?
By the way, Colombia. That's where you need to go if you want a good Cuban sandwich. They've got great ones.
Now we need to talk about food.
Culture. What are you talking about? At Disney's at Celebration.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, dude, I'm not going down to Colombia to
Not
get a
the
Cuban
country.
sandwich.
No, the restaurant and Celebration.
Cuban restaurant called Columbia in Celebration and St. Augustine.
It makes perfect sense. Everyone understands that.
It is the one restaurant where I cannot believe I say this, and I will never say it about another place ever. The salad is amazing.
Oh, the salad's incredible.
Okay.
Indeed.
How about I just go down to Miami? Okay.
Or the loaf of bread that's in the kitchen. Here we go.
Okay. I have a what do you call those? A panini thing? What do you call that? A panini
Culture
press?
next time we'll go to Columbia instead of a bad sushi restaurant.
Oh,
Now, Kevin,
I'm so
be
mad
careful.
at you right now.
Kevin, be careful on the angle of that cat. We don't want to get hit with a warning from YouTube over the Bohunkus area. Careful with it, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, no cat butt.
Yeah, we're not that kind of cat TV, okay?
Uh-oh. SFX Saber Tooth Raptor coming in here with the $5. Culture Casino, the
However the Bash has to say it.
Chemical Slayer of the news sphere.
Oh my God,
This is what's going to happen here, guys.
No, say it again, Vash. Say it again, please. We're totally respectful of this.
Chemical Slinger? Chemical Slinger.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
That's me.
Go ahead, Vash. Try it one
Right
more
now.
time. Go ahead. No. We're messing with you, Vash. We're sorry. We're being
Chemical
mean-spirited.
Slinger, I believe.
Chemical Slinger. Yes.
Yes, that's it.
Vash,
exactly.
we were being unkind to you, sir. Your pronunciation and specifications as to the words is elucidating every time.
Don't worry about that. I know I'm not the best ringer, but a reader, but I will bring you the best energy.
Reader.
Okay.
Did
Charge
he
the
say,
comic number
did he
2 with
say
a Canadian
breeder?
$2.
Did he just say he's not the best breeder? What is going on this show?
I said reader.
Okay. Sorry.
Charge the comic number 2 with a Canadian $2. Remember, folks, Daredevil is openly Catholic.
That's right.
Yes, very. Yes, wonderfully so.
As is Nightcrawler, and I want a Nightcrawler show, but not until the bozos are gone.
Me too.
I agree with that. Snarky Distinct Nugget with $10. Renee the positive messages after He-Man and G.I. Joe. That would be great.
Hey, we love positive messages.
Oh, do you read the positive messages? I'm not sure. Old Man Hatfield with $10. I agree with Kevin.
Well, good deal. Take that, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin's got some agreement going on out there.
Snarky Distinct Nugget with the $5. Remember, for some reason, my phone really checks with my ability to message doing supers. as
Snarky.
it does.
Snarky, we can only conclude that the text system on your phone, according to Skeletor, is evil. So, sorry about that.
Okay.
Terrible. And WDW Pro coming in with a 5 and a 10 because you achieved the goal. So
That's
you.
right, folks. Goal achievified.
Indeed.
Cyrano,
2960, member for 11 months. Does Pro need to send Lauren 5 bullets on why he needs to stay? Oh, no. We know he's alive. So
This is not an Alec Baldwin production, okay? This show's professional.
What?
Well, I think he was referring to the Elon Musk email there. But yeah,
you invited me in here. This is not professional.
Oh, you're right.
Okay.
Old Man Hatfield gifting 5 WDW Pro memberships, and also Cyrano 2960 gifting 5 as well.
Can I say?
We'll stick together, huh? Huh? No matter how cruel and how mindlessly painful the consequences!
Epic.
Can I sing a song of 5?
Do you have a guitar?
How many is 5?
Do you have a kazoo?
No, not handy.
All right, well, go ahead then, sir. You didn't come prepared, but sing us a tune.
5, 5, 5, 5. Let's sing a song of 5. How many is 5?
Folks, come back next week for more rejected songs from Schoolhouse Rocks.
Hughes with Hughes. Culture and News 199. Just woke up. What'd I miss? Ooh, a lot. Sorry about that.
Wow.
Not good.
I'm just a document, just a lonely old document, and I'm waiting for someone to put me on the printer or fax. 555. 5 is a number. Here are more songs that we rejected.
Is there a Schoolhouse Rock song on executive orders? Because that would be a good one.
That would be good, actually.
My favorite was it the Simpsons that did "I'm an amendment to be, it's an amendment to be."
You know, I know the words to that one.
Of course, it mocks Ted Kennedy at the end.
Okay, sir.
Well, alrighty then. Snarky Distinct Nugget with $10.
Hey.
10 whole nuggets for Disney's move that didn't stink.
That's right. Disney cutting loose those ABC journalists. But we love them, and we wish them well.
Hey, look, they had a salad.
Yeah. They had a salad.
Not at Columbia, though, because that would have been good.
What is wrong with
Yeah,
you?
that's true. Curtis Shaw, member for 7 months. Daredevil.
Yeah, we're gonna be careful on that one.
Yeah, I think so. But hey, member for 7 months. Nice.
And Curtis, thank you very much, and happy to have you for a member for 7 months. What a wonder! What a celebration indeed for you being here that long. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Views with Hughes, Culture and News again with a 199. Thanks, Nolan, for giving me a reason not to watch Daredevil.
That's right, folks. Get out there and subscribe to Views with Hughes, Culture and News today, and power.
Hughes
199.
Indeed. Master of Puppets member for 7 months. Looks like I won't be renewing D+ for this one.
Uh-oh. Sorry, Disney. Didn't work.
Not good. Snarky Distinct Nugget, $2. Harry Da Henderson.
That's a good movie, by the way.
Indeed. And that, I believe, concludes our Super Chats for the evening, sir.
That's right. All right. Folks, we've got one more story, and then we're going to be sending you over to Vacation Radio, which is absolutely at the edge of monetization. Thank you all for the support. We're going to send you over there in just a few, but before we do, it is an exclusive scoop, and we're excited to bring it to you. Let's get started right now. It is out of That Park Place, and if you're not yet bookmarked to the website, well, you should be. Exclusive rumor, Marvel to cram Young Avengers characters into next Avengers movie with Chris Pratt as Mentor? ? Now, folks, we are entering into rumor and speculation territory, but I will tell you that in the rumor and speculation territory, that this one is we've got, how do I say this, Marvin? I'm feeling pretty good about this rumor. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty
strong.
good about it.
It's a strong rumor.
It's a strong rumor. We can't tell you where it comes from. We can't tell you how we know, but we can just tell you it's a strong rumor. A source tells that Park Place that Marvel may ditch the Young Adventures. We'll fix that, folks. Hang tight. The Young Avengers as a standalone effort. And instead, they're cramming them into the most important MCU movie since Iron Man.
I would like to just point out that I don't edit your articles. Just so people, oh boy, that wasn't
Who is this?
Oh boy, no.
Who is the noob author? The Young Avengers, introduced in Marvel Comics in 2005, are a team of adolescent superheroes who emerged following the Avengers Disassembled storyline. Well, at least I did my research, even if I can't write. Skipping right along, though, it says, in the comics, the Young Avengers have been involved in significant events like Civil War and the Children's Crusade, showcasing their growth and impact within the Marvel universe. However, in the MCU, they've been gradually introducing the characters associated with the Young Avengers. Despite these introductions, plans for a standalone Young Avengers project have evolved and may have resulted in almost everything being scrapped. Initially considered for a Disney Plus series or a standalone film, recent developments indicate that such plans have been jettisoned. Instead, it appears the Young Avengers will team up with Chris Pratt in the upcoming film Avengers Secret Wars. This shift suggests a strategic integration of the Young Avengers into the broader MCU narrative, allowing for their development alongside established characters. However, it also seems to recognize that without the power of the Russo brothers, Feige may have lost faith that these characters can carry their own story. Attaching them to Chris Pratt and Star-Lord may be even more of an attempt to keep them relevant by association. Now, let's just pause here and just show the Secret Wars logo and the fact that, there's plenty to go on here, right? And there's plenty of story. And by the way, I thought, and I've heard that what they were going to do is attach Tom Holland and Hugh Jackman together for a Spider-Man Wolverine combo in this. And that's one way to get audiences in. Apparently, they're going to shoehorn in the Young Avengers into Secret Wars. Like, this is nutty. Do we really want that Lock kid from Agatha in Secret Wars? Is that really what audiences are clamoring for? I don't think so. I like to hear at the bottom because I wrote it. Of course, these aren't the only characters we're getting wind of being shoehorned into an Avengers back-to-back, bursting at the seams with Z-tier roster fillers. If anyone can save the MCU, it's the Russo brothers, but wow, do they have their work cut out for them. By the way, folks, on the Patreon, I have another character that you won't believe that is allegedly coming back to this movie. You really can't believe that they would do it. Anyway, let's go to the panel about the Young Avengers, who they may call the champions now. Getting into some real specificity with the rumors. Panel, your thoughts on them shoving these characters outside of Haley's character? I don't think any of the others are really popular. I mean, I like Iman Vellani. I think she's a great actress. Maybe she can help lift it up, but I mean, this is not a few. This is a potpourri of kids and adults trying to pretend to be kids that they're going to just shove into an already bloated film. Your thoughts on it?
So I think the idea of Star-Lord.
Hold on, okay, Vash, give us the breakdown. You're right. I am remiss to not say who is this.
Well, that's the thing. I really don't. I haven't been keeping up with Marvel recently very much. So as far as the Young Avengers go, I believe you have is it Kate Bishop as Hawkeye?
Hawkeye
right?
Jr.
Yep. Yeah. And you have
Ms. Marvel.
what? Miss Marvel. Okay. You have. I'm guessing Ironheart as well.
Yes, you would have Ironheart. I'm hearing, I wasn't expecting to talk about this. I am hearing that the kid that we saw in She-Hulk,
the
last episode, that boy Hulk that we saw for like 5 seconds could be now a young Avenger slash
why would they
champion.
why would they do that and not Hulkling the way they're supposed to? And they had ample opportunity to introduce Hulkling in Secret War and then chose not to do it.
Maybe they're going to try to pretend he is Hulkling. I don't know. I think America. That's actually who I was just about to say. America Chavez would be a young Avenger in the MCU.
We introduced Patriot in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and then we're not using him in favor of America Chavez.
But we get Billy from Agatha.
Patriot was Isaiah Bradley's grandson, and the whole purpose of having him in Falcon and the Winter Soldier was he would become Patriot.
Look at Kevin. Look at Kevin.
I think this is really instructive because, I mean, even we're struggling to kind of come up with a list here.
But wait a minute, Vash, and we cover this for a living. Okay, but wait a minute. I know what Marvel's thinking.
No.
They're going to strap these kids to Chris Pratt. He's going to be the mentor, and people like Star-Lord, so it's going to work. It's going to work. Culture.
Look, I defer to Kevin because he's reacting more than I am, and I'm like, I was going to make a inappropriate adult joke when you talk about strapping things to other things, but I don't let Kevin go.
Definitely not the time for that joke, Culture. That is how we get canceled.
I know.
And then you'll be canceled, Culture Casino.
I don't want to get canceled.
Are we getting Cloak and Dagger too? Are they coming back?
No, I hope not.
Kevin, please help.
I like him in Marvel Rivals, not in my MCU. Go ahead, Kevin.
There is no helping this. This is this is D-list tier characters and a bunch of DEI implants that no one was really excited about being forced upon you. And I'm like, at this point, first of all, you can't even call them the Young Avengers anymore. They all graduated college and have moved on.
Way too long, yeah.
Kevin Haley Steinfeld's in her 30s.
I know. It's like, come on. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would just dust off the West Coast Avengers IP, throw the D-listers in there, and find 2 people you haven't killed off and jam them onto the team, and maybe our DEI Wonder Man, and see if we can get something going.
Wonder Boy.
This just sounds awful. Well, you know what? They forgot that they separated Star-Lord from the Guardians, and we're like, oh wait, we have another Chris on the roster. We should do something with him because we don't know where to go. And this is exactly why I am on the Kevin Feige is done. As Rob said, get him off the mound. He's done.
Star-Lord has lost Gamora, and he's going to find meaning again by raising a bunch of 30-year-old kids.
It sounds like a really bad post-credit scene is what this sounds like.
It sounds like the Russo brothers are sitting there saying, why? Why do we have these contracts? Can we give them a 5-second cameo and let's go? Can we please? Yeah. Young Avengers need to come out of, at the end of Endgame, when they all come through the portals, Young Avengers need to come through a portal and then walk right back through the one they came and close it. And the audience would stand up and cheer, right? That's what it would be. All right, folks, it's time for us to cheer because we have come to the end of yet another live stream of pure golden excellence, the kind which makes the wackos and the zanies, the crazies cry. The ladies on The View don't even try to be this good, but we do it for you. Vash super chats, and then we're sending people over to Vacation Radio, where 4 brand new songs are debuting tonight, and they're of the rock variety, so very cool. Vash super chats, please, sir.
Absolutely. The artist formerly known as Dr. John with the 199. Did Daredevil come out today? That was Ben Affleck. Very cool. Snarky Distinct Nugget with $2. Take back those nuggets.
A little hot mustard with your nuggets, eh?
Indeed. Izzo's placement for 7 months. Maybe Anakin can handle the Youngling Avengers. Oh, no.
The Youngling Avengers.
That's dark right there. He just comes right in and, you know what's coming next right there.
Yep.
Oh, not good. Let's see. The artist formerly known as Dr. John, again with the 199. Which character will play Rachel Zegler?
Broom
Rachel Zegler
Girl.
will play in the MCU. There you go.
Broom Girl. It's going to be like Last Jedi. She'll just be sweeping at the end.
Who plays Squirrel Girl? That's the.
Oh no! Don't you dare put that in their mind. No, not Zegler as Squirrel Girl. She's plenty nutty, but that's not the only qualification.
But the AT&T girl was perfect for Squirrel Girl.
You just like the AT&T girl. We know what's going on. Culture. We told you. The Wendy's girl is the one for you, sir. The Wendy's girl. All right, folks.
Probably true.
All of you out. Wait a minute. Here comes another one. Whoa. Real quick. Snarky for 5. President Trump places tariffs on the D-list characters. Well, Disney can't afford them any more than they could before. All right, folks. We're sending you to Vacation Radio. Time for the outro, folks. Wave at the camera. Go over there and subscribe to That Pod Place and That Park Place with Vash Sky, Kevin Apollo, and Marvin, the movie monster, at Tooneytown TV and Tooneytown Wrestling. Nolan Thunder at his same name channel. and Ron at Follow the Bradley's Fun. Culture Casino is everywhere. He's everywhere, but mostly on Culture Casino and that game place. Until the next time, folks, it's been a joy to spend time with you. Thank you for our ride of a lifetime. Sorry, Bob, but this one comes with no hippos. The mainstream media just can't understand how it is we continue to do what we do. They don't realize that we are powered by you, and you are...
The crab people shall finally reign supreme!